Now, Scotland's role in tackling climate change was highlighted at the COP26 conference last year in Glasgow. At the time, the Scottish Government set up a scheme to help developing countries which have been worst hit by the effects of climate change.
Initially, they put forward £2 million, with a further £5 to come in April. From that first block of cash, £500,000 has gone to Malawi, where cyclones have destroyed villages and warmer waters are impacting local fishing. BBC Scotland's Kevine Keane spoke to the country's president, Lazarus Chakwera.
It's been quite a challenge because, we were just trying to get up from impacts of Cyclone Idai, then COVID-19, and all of a sudden we had Cyclone Anna, followed by Gombe. So lives were lost, food crops were wiped away.
What are the limits on what you, as a developing country, can do to repair all of that and to make people in your country safe?
You have countries like Malawi, on one hand, that need to take that responsibility and says, look into the future. What would this entail in terms of, the houses we build, in terms of the infrastructure, roads that we build, in terms of even the forests that we need to take care of. But that's the area of adaptation. And we need to have to take responsibility. But they are developed nations that pretty much have contributed the major part of that.
And of course, there was a major development last year in relation to that, which was an agreement to create a loss and damage fund. Exactly. How did you feel at the point when that was agreed?
See, this we feel is more, if you please, I may use that word, more like climate justice, economic justice, because the countries that suffer most have contributed least. We're struggling right now. We were trying to go several steps forward, and then we are pushed more steps backwards. And there are more vulnerable countries like Malawi who are struggling. So this is an important one.
You received some of the world's first government loss and damage money from the Scottish Government, which is being used in various different parts of Malawi. Obviously, it's a relatively small amount, £500,000. How much of a difference has that made?
It has made huge differences in the people and their livelihoods, because they're told or encouraged or, given a hand up. So the resilience we talk about becomes a practical issue. And countries like Scotland and what they're doing is what everybody else needs to be doing. Not talking like it's some aid, but it is, hey, let's take responsibility together. And this thing, we're in it together, and we need to work as nations together. While each nation takes responsibility, all nations multilaterally must also take responsibility, and together we can win.
So when you've seen what impacts the Scottish Government's money has had, how much impact do you feel a global loss and damage fund of money would have?
So I believe if this can be replicated everywhere, vulnerable countries like Malawi will feel like, as a world, we are taking responsibility to say, this fight belongs to all of us. And I believe that this example will serve as a prototype of what could happen, because we must not just keep talking. This fund needs to be supported big time so everyone rises together.
You're cracking down on corruption in the government. How important is it that the rest of the world sees that you as a country and as a government and as a leader can manage these large sums of money once they start flowing?
This is the whole point, because we must put the common good way above what personal interest can be. And personal interest so many times is what leads people into corrupt practices. And we need to realize it's not about me, it's not about what I can make, it's about us and what we can become together. So this fight is a fight that we realize is extremely important, because so many things are denied people as a result of a few that want to corruptly gain everything for themselves.
It is a challenge. You've a population of 20 million. Even if this money is flowing in the way that you and other similar countries hope, can you help everybody?
We must help somebody, and in the process, helping everybody. It is critical that we do something, not do nothing.